Terry Black, over to you, ma'am. Sorry, mid-coffee.
Hi, everyone. I'm Terry Black, Regional Manager with Vis-a-Vis. And we are our team of senior living advisors that offer a personalized service to help seniors and families find the right fit in retirement homes. And we also offer services to help set up private home care services for those wanting to stay home. So we search for free, so call the experts at Vis-a-Vis. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Chris Peacock.
Hi, everybody. Chris Peacock from To Be and Flow Neurofeedback Services. And so I offer a technology-based brain training program and work primarily with people who are dealing with stress and anxiety to help calm their nervous system and develop new neural pathways.
Thank you, Chris. Carmel Ecker. Or Carmel. Sorry, I'm probably not saying it the right way at all. So
that's okay. Everybody does it. I'm Carmel Ecker, and I own Speak Now Life Coaching. I help single parents figure out what is keeping them stuck, get clear on what they want, and make a plan to get it so that they can give themselves and their kids the life that they deserve. And I do that through one-to-one coaching and also group coaching, which I'm going to be starting very soon.
Thank you. Laurie Miggins.
Hi, I'm Lori. I own a consulting company with operations management, and I do some virtual assistants on the side. You might hear my office manager in the back. She's about 5 months old. But I do anything from local Ottawa companies to online service providers. I help step into their back office and support them in whatever ways necessary, whether it's administration, getting them set up with organizing their operations better and helping them automate and streamline their processes.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you so much. Just in the interest of keeping us on time, because we're a bit of a crowd here, which is good. I'm just going to say, hi, state your name, where you're at country-wise, and name your company, and put the rest of the details in the chat. Let's speed things up. Joseph McGuire, good to see you, sir.
Hey, Bernie, great to see you too. Joseph McGuire here from not so sunny Dublin, Ireland. Company is Clearsight Communications, facial profiler. Great to see my good friend Alan Stevens on as well, and happy to connect on LinkedIn.
Thank you, sir. Eric Sonego.
Good morning, Happy New Year. Eric Sonego, accountant and management consultant. Everything else is on the chat line.
Perfect. Melanie Corbin.
Hi, I'm Melanie Corbin. I'm an account executive with Corporate Traveler, so it's a travel management company. I'm based in Ottawa, and I'll put my details in the chat.
Thank you. Mayanak Sharma, you're up, sir. I know, coffee's at the same time. And you're on mute.
You got to tell me how you put that jungle behind you on the screen, man.
Yeah, carefully.
Okay, so my name is Mayank Sharma. I am a personal trainer, certified body transformation coach at MS Bodyworks, which is my company. And I will leave the rest of the information in the chat box because we got a lot of people today.
There we go.
Kirillov.
That's a weird Ukrainian name to begin with. Don't worry about that. I'm senior lander with Bank of Nova Scotia in Ottawa here. I'm happy to connect. All my information is in the chat box.
Perfect. Pamela Burton.
Hello, everybody. Pamela Barton, Butterfly Holistic Nutrition and Lifestyle. I'm a holistic nutritionist based here in Ottawa, and I will post everything else in the chat.
Perfect. Brenda Williams.
Hi, my name is Brenda Williams. I'm the founder and president of New Life Project Incorporation. It's a non-profit organization here in Ottawa, and we do translation. The rest is on the chat.
Perfect. Maria Medina.
Hi. Wanted to make sure I was off mute. Maria Medina, still trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up. So I come and visit you guys to help me focus and learn stuff. I'll put info in the chat.
Perfect. Carolee Greer.
Boy. Good morning from Vancouver. I'm Carolee. I'm with Rail, R-A-Y-L, and it's a business ecosystem system that can help you all the way from integrated software to network and marketing. So come and check us out and see how we can help you build your business.
Thank you. Amy Berry.
Hi guys, Amy Berry from Dallas, Texas. I'm an adult dance fitness teacher and a self-worth coach. Thanks for having me.
Perfect. Elaine Yer.
Hi everyone, I'm a business broker with Sandal Canada, with the largest business broker in Canada. We help entrepreneurs buy and sell businesses.
Perfect. Pamela BC.
Hi everyone, so my name is Pamela BC. I'm in Toronto, and I was invited by Brenda to just listen in. So I want to learn more about business through this forum. Thank you.
Pamela, welcome. Jerome Peters.
Hello everyone, I'm Jerome, and started a new business. It's called Style It. It's a mobile barbershop. During the pandemic, trying to pivot the business a little bit. Instead of you going to a barbershop, will come to you. We'll help retirement homes and individuals as well. Yep, that's my.
Yeah.
Abraham.
Hi, everyone. My name is Abraham. I'm from Toronto. I work for New Life Project. I was invited by Brenda to join this panel. I look forward to learning from you.
Perfect. Nur Gunik.
Yes, I'm Ainur Günenç from Ottawa. I'm a food scientist and instructor at Carleton University.
Cool.
Perfect, thank you. Last but not least, Princess Desi.
Okay.
And so I'll do my quick spiel. Bernie Fransbrough, Creative Insight Consultants, B2B networking, marketing, etc. I just posted more information in the chat. One other real important thing about the chat, those little three dots. When you have the chat open, you hit those little three dots, save the chat, because once you leave, chat goes away. If you want the chat later on, let me know. I will send you a copy. Margaret Ann, who be you?
Okay, yay. Okay, so thank you for doing that. And we did get live. So as one of the members of Connect Ottawa, first of all, I'd like to invite you to join our community. It's a great way to meet new people. Like this call, start building relationships, gain visibility by sharing your blogs and posts and reaching out to the community. Because entrepreneurs, we all need to be growing. So there is no standing still. And also myself, I'm a strategic business connector, and I really like thinking outside the box and empowering entrepreneurs with incredible ideas, tools, and technology to make your vision a reality. On that note, I am going to pass it over to the amazing Bernie Fransbrough, who I am looking forward to learning more about our speaker today. So take it away, Bernie.
Well, thank you, Margaret Ann. So folks, allow me to introduce Lisa Vanderkwaak. She is a dynamic communicator, was once terrified and believes it wasn't a safe thing to do to speak in public. Obviously that's changed. So through a process of personal transformation coaching, she discovered the keys that unlocked her confidence and catapulted her speaking career. Now with 25 years experience as a speaker and a trainer, she specializes in coaching highly motivated women entrepreneurs and professionals who want to unlock their speaking potential and gain more credibility by generating new income and impacting the world. She has a five-step speak to transform method, and she's a certified speaking coach and 4-time best-selling author and founder of Speak to Transform Academy. Lisa, over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Bernie. What a joy to be here. Wow, this is such a rich room all over the world. This is amazing. Thank you everyone for showing up today. First of all, can everyone hear me okay? Is my audio good? Awesome. Good. Well, I'm excited to be with you today because as Bernie said, this is something that I came through life not realizing that speaking was not so much about being an extrovert or even about talent, but was so much more so that anybody can become a great speaker. So the things that you're going to learn today actually are some of the keys that helped me to not only transform the way I communicate, but also my clients as well. So I know there are people on this call today who are communication specialists and profilers and brain specialists. So some of the things that you are going to learn today probably will be not new for you, or maybe they're going to be just little nuances that you never thought about before when it comes to communication. So I'm just going to share my screen first of all, and let me just go here. There we go. And I'm just going to get into my Canva. All right. Everyone see my screen okay?
Perfect.
I just got to move my pictures off the way here with Zoom. All right, so today you're going to learn how to expand your capacity to speak and influence. 3 communication tweaks so you can sound more confident, more credible, and engaging. I mean, if anything that this last 2 years has taught us, if you haven't been online prior to this, then there's a whole new way of communicating online. And so what you're going to learn today applies to not only in person, but also online. And so I want you to think along those lines in terms of the tweaks that you're going to make so that you can sound more confident, more credible, and engaging. Because let me tell you, engagement is the name of the game, no matter where you are, what you do. So one of the things that is really interesting over the years is that I developed this thing called the 3V framework. Again, it's not rocket science, it's just a fancy name to talk about the 3 areas of communication, which I call the 3V framework. And no, it has nothing to do with my last name. By the way, Bernie and Margaret Ann, good at pronouncing my last name. A lot of people have trouble with that. It's Dutch. So what I discovered many years ago as I was training to be a speech language pathologist is that there were multiple studies done over the years, and they continue on today, is that how people studied what are the factors that influence your listeners' perception of you. Perception of you in terms of how to see you as confident, credible, how to look at you as believable, and how to even trust you. What are the factors that influence your listeners to have that kind of perception of you that say, hey, this person looks like they're confident, they're believable, and I want to do business with them? Put in the chat if you'd like to know. 3 major areas that you can, what I call, tilt the odds in your favor. Now, a lot of times people think of public speaking as something that you're just born with, that you are naturally talented at, or that you have to be an extrovert. And I'm a living testimony to say, no, you do not have to be, because I'm neither an extrovert nor am I naturally talented at it. But what you're going to learn today, hopefully will be good news for you, and that you can apply some really practical tips. I like to be practical. So you're also going to learn a very simple way to eliminate those annoying fillers. You know what I'm talking about, right? Sometimes we can be really competent in one arena, but get into another arena, especially when it's talking about our own business, and we find ourselves just cotton-mouthed or have all kinds of fillers that get in the way. So you're going to learn a simple technique today as well. So in regards to this, I want to highlight a quote by John Maxwell, who is a leadership guru. You've probably heard about him, written numerous books. He has this quote: awareness plus abilities plus choice equals capacity. So if you want to if you want to expand your capacity in any area of life, first of all, you need to be aware of what is your capacity, what are you doing that's working, what's not working, and then what are the abilities that you already have. You can also put the word skills here instead of abilities. What are the skills that you already have that help you in that area? Maybe what are the skills that you need to learn in order to grow in that area? And then make a choice to do it. Make a choice to actually learn the new skills or grow your abilities. And that's how you expand your capacity. Very simple, right? Well, this is no different when it comes to public speaking. There's 3 main areas that I look at in terms of public speaking when I work with clients: is verbal, vocal, and visual. In other words, the words that you say, the sounds that you make that come out of your mouth, and your physical intelligence or your physical presence. Now, I'm going to pause here for a moment because I want to tell you about those studies that I mentioned. There have been numerous studies repeated over the years, and they looked at these 3 areas of communication, said which of these areas have the highest influence on your listener's perception of you. So I want you to put in the chat, let me know which one of these do you think has the highest influence, the greatest influence on your listeners' perception of you, meaning they influence your listener to see you as confident, credible, believable, or not. Put in the chat and let me know what you think. All right, good. I'm just seeing if I can see my chat here. Aha. Okay, good. All right. Now I got to get rid of my chat. How do I get rid of my chat? Can you see my chat on my screen?
Yeah, I can see the chat here. So
we don't see it on your screen though, Lisa.
Okay, good. I'm just going to move it out of the way because oh, there it is. Okay.
I get it.
Perfect. So this is the outcome. And this study has been repeated numerous times. Your words that you say have a 7% influence. The non-words, the sounds that come out of your mouth, and I'm going to explain this in a few minutes, have a 38% influence. Okay, let that sink in a bit right there. The physical intelligence have a 55% influence. See, this is the thing. Your brain has this unconscious bias. In fact, it has, I think, like 176 working all at once when we meet people, when we interact with people. And especially if we have the full body experience, meaning we can see them, we can hear them. There's numerous unconscious biases that are happening that are making judgments. That's just normal human behavior. And so based on these factors, these judgments are being made like split second. And so this is what I want you to learn today, is that you can actually tilt the odds in your favor by focusing on the areas that you know influence your listeners' perception of you, so that they can see you for who you really are. Brilliant, credible, confident, all the things that you want them to perceive you as and know you for, so that it doesn't block their ability to hear you or to learn from you in the first few seconds and minutes of your presentation or even meeting you. You tracking with me? This is a hack. These are hacks that you can do because we know that this is unconscious happening in the brain. How can we influence those judgments or those perceptions in a positive and powerful way? And so this is what you're going to learn today in these 3 areas. All right. So as I mentioned before, the effectiveness in communication is based very little on the talent that you have, and it's actually based more on the skills that you develop. So if you have a growth mindset and if you're willing to learn new skills or improve in certain areas, you can become a dynamic communicator, a credible, effective communicator. You can learn to use communication to grow your business. So I'm just going to pause here for a moment and tell you this, if you haven't already heard this. Public speaking is the #1 way to grow your business. People feel you, hear you, feel the essence of who you are, all of the things, and be able to see you as credible, confident, and believable. So if you don't already, this is one way in this networking forum, but there's other ways to do that. I want to encourage you to make it a goal this year. So right now, we're going to take just a moment, and I want you to pull out your phone if you have one, and I want you to do a very simple baseline activity, because most people don't like the way that they sound. Agree? You don't like your voice? You listen back, that's not me. Because the truth is, we don't hear what other people hear sometimes. So I want you to take out your phone, and then I want you to say this, record this in your recorder. Otherwise, you can do it later. Record yourself saying this paragraph here. Okay? So I'm just going to give you 1 minute here.
I don't have to open my mouth to speak to myself.
Oh, can you put yourself on
Whoops,
mute?
sorry, I just realized I'm on. Okay, that's great. There's
I love your voice. I like your voice, but
Margaret,
I don't mind my voice.
Margaret got a good voice. There you go. You know, that's a little gift to all of you guys for this Tuesday afternoon.
Exactly. Go for it. All right, I'm going to move on here. You can finish that up later. But basically what I want you to know is I want you to put a baseline on your how you communicate, because then you can't master what you don't measure, right? So being able to measure the progress is really important. Say, okay, what are the areas I'm going to focus on? So how can you tilt the odds in your favor? And that's really what we're going to look at today. So in the area of the value or the words that you bring, most people, when they're putting together a presentation, what do? They spend 99% of the time on the preparation and the presentation on saying the right words. Do you agree? Well, we just learned that your words only have a 7% influence. So I always say, don't aim for perfection, aim for connection. So even in your words, you want to structure your words in such a way that you're connecting with your audience. And so here's a little hack. Here's a little one way that you can begin right away to tweak the area of the words that you say. There's this phrase that I've learned as a speaking coach is like, speak to one, but look to all. Now, on a screen like this, sometimes you can't see all, but definitely in person. But you want to structure your language so it's what's called you-focused language. What does that mean? Most people stand up and say, you know, today I'm going to share with you 3 ways that you can tweak your communication. And then you're going to say, I learned this over the years as da, 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 da. And most of the word that's used is I. People don't really care what you know. What they care is how is it going to make their life better? How is it going to influence their life in a positive way to solve a problem, to overcome a challenge, whatever it might be. So you need to speak directly to them by using what's called you-focused language. Now, sometimes you can use the word I, it's not forbidden, but use more of the you, the singular you. So for example, instead of saying, I'm going to share with you today 3, I said, today you're going to learn 3 communication tweaks that you can implement right away to tilt the odds in your favor so that others see you as credible, confident, and believable. Do you see the difference? You focus language. I'm speaking to you. What's in it for you? What's in it for you? What's in it for your audience? And speak to that with your words. And then as you go on throughout your whole presentation, keep this in mind. So that's one way that you can tilt the odds in your favor by speaking, by connecting directly with your audience from start to finish. Now, if you do want to have you want to go deeper in this, there is a free resource at 7powerwords.com. You can go and get that all about the whole words, all about the words that you can use to influence your listeners. So let's move on now to the second one. For the sake of time, we're just gonna give you one in each section here. So your voice. I always say your words need waves to ride on. They need sound waves, right? Words on a paper can be misinterpreted unless there's something of emotion that's connected to it. So when I talk about the sounds and that 38% influence on your listener, there's both the sounds that you do want to make and the sounds that you don't want to make. So the sounds of your voice, if you think about your voice box as an instrument that needs to be learned how to maximize its use in order to connect with your listener in a deeper, more meaningful way. If you think about music notes are nothing unless they're put in a structure and a sequence to be able to reach the listener in a deeper, more meaningful way, in a personal way. What is it about music? It connects with the emotions. Well, your voice is actually a musical instrument. Now, often as speakers, we don't think about this. If you're a trained singer, you're well versed in this. But as a speaker, you want to get to know what are the elements of my voice that can help me better connect and better build trust with my listener. And they are the tone, the pitch, the pace, the melody, and the volume of your voice. Any combination of these can change the emotion, can change the impact you have on your listener. Okay, so let me just say this, that your voice has the capacity, and I've heard different numbers on this, but just like the keys on a piano, you have multiple combinations that you can make. Now, if you were just to go and bang on one key all the time, people think, well, okay, she knows nothing about the piano. She's just maybe playing around there. Well, the same as with your voice. If you only stay within a range that is like 1 or 2 keys, people are going to think you're not very interesting. And that's what we often call monotone. So to learn how to use the full range of your voice is really important. And I could do a whole lot more on this, but this I want to leave with you is begin to apply some of the things to listen to your own voice, because you want to like your voice. You want to love your voice. You want to hear what other people hear. And that's why I had you record your voice, because we don't hear the same in our head as what other people hear. And so you want to learn how to change the way you communicate so that more of who you are comes out. I don't want you to be like someone else. I want you to be more of who you are so that your voice can showcase the best of who you are. All right, let's move on to the fillers, those nasty words. They have a negative impact on your listener, believe it or not. Psychologically, they have a negative impact on people seeing you as, oh, she's not very intelligent, he's nervous, he's whatever. So fillers, how do you get rid of, or how do you minimize those fillers? Those things like, like, let me know in the comments what you know is a habit that you have in terms of a filler, maybe a certain word that you use. So we want to decrease those words. And one thing I want you to do right now is I want you to put your hand up to your mouth about 1/2 inch away. And I want you to say the sounds, okay. Now, again, you can do this on your own time. What you want to feel is you want to feel a strong, continuous breath. If you haven't, then you know that you're not breathing properly. One of the biggest ways for you to begin to eliminate the fillers is to learn how to breathe properly. And it's called diaphragmatic breathing. Not from the chest. And this is why a lot of people run out of breath when they're speaking, or they feel lightheaded, or the words are choppy, or the strength of their voice is weak. It's weak, is because they haven't learned how to use diaphragmatic breathing. Now, I have a YouTube video on this. I'm not going to go into this today, but basically you're breathing from your diaphragm rather than your chest. One of the simplest ways you can begin to strengthen the quality of your voice. The second thing is, when you say words, you want to, if you're breathing properly, you want to only take a breath when there's a comma or a period. Now, I learned this from one of my vocal coaches, and I'm going to go back to this sentence here, and you don't have to do this, but again, you can take a screenshot of this and you can do this on your own time. I'm going to illustrate here. So I'm going to breathe in through my nose from my diaphragm, and I'm going to breathe out through my mouth. So when I'm breathing out through my mouth, I'm speaking. So I'm going to breathe in through my nose. I don't have to open my mouth to speak to myself. Therefore, all speaking is public speaking. So I'm responsible for all the sounds that come out of my mouth, whether not positive or negative. My voice is a vehicle of influence and a gift to be given away. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. A lot of times people say my voice is a vehicle of influence and a gift to be given away. Now, there are times for us to be emphatic in our speech as well. But you see what I did? I only stopped when there was a comma and a period, and that was my cue to take a breath. And when you learn how to do that, you actually begin to eliminate the fillers in your speaking. So moving on here to the visual, and then after this, we're going to take a few questions before I close out. Okay, so what your body is doing while you're speaking has a 55% influence on your listener. Who you are speaking so loudly that I can't hear what you're saying. Many people can get stopped by the visual. Again, I'm not going to go into all of these, but there's a whole whole area of the presence, the physical presence. Dr. Cynthia Bocara, who's a chiropractor, did some brilliant work in this area. She did a lovely acronym that explains what are the elements of the physical presence that influence your listener's perception of you. One of the most powerful parts of your physical presence is your posture. Probably not news to anyone, but just a reminder. Not only does it impact the listener's perception of you, it also affects the quality of your voice, how you communicate. So even on a virtual screen, you want to make sure your posture is communicating something to your listener. These are the things that are associated with poor posture. Again, those unconscious biases that are happening when someone is interacting with you. Posture is huge. I, again, have this free training on YouTube. You can see it, Boost Your Confidence in 7 seconds. If you ever find yourself getting nervous when you're speaking and you feel, take a moment or 7 seconds and do this exercise, and you'll immediately feel more confident, because when you do this, it releases hormones in your body that are kind of like happy hormones, and they help you to feel more confident, but also to help you be perceived as more confident. So again, this is an exercise I would love for you to do on your own time. And again, you can take a screenshot of this as an acronym for posture. What is the posture that you want to have in order to communicate to your listener, your audience, that you are believable, credible, and someone that they can trust? So once you begin to learn these things, begin to do the diaphragmatic breathing, learn how to do your posture, then I want you to record yourself again, that same paragraph, using it. And I want you to listen to the sound of your voice. You will be amazed how quickly, even in those short, brief adjustments, it will impact your quality of your voice. Okay. All right. I'm going to take a moment here for questions before I close.
That was awesome, Lisa. So as Lisa was saying, it was great. If you want to raise your hand, have a question or comment, we'll get to you right now. Oh, Carmel.
Yeah, so I appreciate the idea of only pausing when you're when you're at the end of the sentence or at a comma to reduce those filler words. But if you're not reading a script, see, there I go. How do you minimize those filler words? Because I'm making it up in my head, and so how do I? Yeah. Does that make sense?
Great. Yeah, absolutely. Great question. Well, it's like anything, practice, right? So you start with a script to kind of train yourself in that regard, how to do it. And then as you focus on the breathing part, as you learn to do that every day, focus on learning how to breathe diaphragmatically when you're speaking, then you transfer it over into your communication that's spontaneous or that's presentation. So absolutely, it's just practice in that regard.
Apparently, I just need more practice.
Yeah, it's like training your body, right? Like anything else, it becomes second nature after a while. Great question.
I thought that was it was a great presentation, Lisa. It makes everybody conscious, starting out again. A few of them I'd heard before, especially I used to do a bit of singing, and it was like, just it's amazing how just anything that you do with your body can change your voice. And I actually have a very powerful voice, so I say a lot of times I don't, but it's because I learned how to project it. And it's like, so these are really good tips. Although, what about twitches? What about twitches when you're speaking? Anything about that? The visual.
Absolutely. So those are what we call the physical fillers. They fill in because of nervousness or habits, whatever. They're all habits that we have. And so the best way to begin to eliminate that is to record yourself, then turn off the audio when you're watching, and to see what your body is communicating, and then begin to, again, awareness. Remember that formula, awareness, plus abilities plus choice. So then begin to say, okay, I'm going to start to now over the next 3 to 6 months, learn on eliminating that habit that I have, because your habits, those can either hinder your effectiveness or they can, what we call, harness it. They can really help you in more positive ways. That's a great question.
So thank you very much, that, because actually I did that. That's why I'm conscious, because we were on a lot of calls. And when I go back to, I don't know about anybody else, I really don't like going back to watch myself. And sometimes I have to listen to me quite a bit. And then I'm going to say, I'm going like, I've got these like funny little nervous twitches. So then, you're going, okay, I don't want to say that. I don't want to be too obnoxious, and I got to watch this. And so sometimes, where is the best place to start? Because it can be a little frustrating when you hear about all this stuff and you're going, I don't know, like, and then it's like, oh, where do you start, Lisa?
How much time do you have? No, the question, it's a great question. So clarity is huge when it comes to confidence. So a lot of it comes down to we're feeling a little maybe unprepared or lacking confidence or whatever it might be. Why these habits happen, or why we're finding ourselves kind of being a different person when we're speaking than in person. So clarity is really important. And one of the biggest things is preparation. Kind of have an overview or structure of an outline of what it is that you want to cover, even in a conversation, a negotiation, or whatever it might be. When you have just a slight structure and outline, it kind of gives you clarity. The other thing is, I ask myself this question, and this is something that whether you're doing a presentation online, writing a book, writing a blog, whatever it might be, what do you want your listener or audience to think, feel, or do differently as a result of hearing you speak or reading your blog, whatever it might be? And then it kind of gives you kind of reverse engineer that, but it gives you a clarity of where you're headed. And so I find that when you have that, it builds your confidence in another way as well. And so, because sometimes we can be scrambling for words, or if you're a wing it kind of a person, then this can be the biggest challenge for you, is say the value of having a structure.
Cool. That's actually, I love it, Lisa. Great advice. And what I find, it's right in line with everybody starting into January. We refocus, get a little bit more clear on our goals. So definitely the last couple of years, Lisa was online before the pandemic started. So she was well versed, but anybody that's needing tips and tricks and stuff, thank you very much, because definitely a way to go. Now we got a couple more, we got some more.
Maybe get two more questions, and then I'll close out here.
I want to say that thank you so much for the presentation. You were very, very clear and eloquent with public speaking and everything. But I have like one opinion when it comes to speaking in front of people. I got no problem speaking in front of people. It's the fact that I know that fillers and all these things, they have a negative impact when you're talking in front of when you're addressing an audience. But I would say people also connect to you when you're authentic. And authenticity comes when you're not sounding like you crammed everything, right? You're talking like a robot, and there's no fillers and there's nothing. Because even the biggest and the baddest speakers on the planet, they also have fillers. Like, for example, Tony Robbins, he also have some kind of fillers and all. So I think authenticity also comes with a little bit that you're like real, right? It's not that you have crammed 2 pages on a topic and you're just puking it out on the stage. So I think that you don't have to have fillers, but some kind of authenticity comes with when you're super real about what you're talking, and people connect to more authentic people rather than just the perfect ones, right? Like if I'm like talking like perfectly with no flaw, it's hard to relate. But when I have a little bit of something, then I don't know, like it's just an opinion. Like that's what I'm genuine.
No, you're absolutely right, Sharma. Authenticity is huge. And that's why I said at the beginning, it's not about perfection, it's about connection. So I'm not saying what I'm saying is that sometimes we have tweaks in our communication that can just take us to the next level of our effectiveness in being able to engage and connect with an audience, because of knowing how some people get lost, or they're not going to listen if in the first 30 seconds something happens. So
I know. It's totally, it's not good that you're like quiet or like you're just like doing like for 10 seconds in a row. That doesn't look good. but I think a little bit is allowed, even with the, a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah. Authenticity is so important. I'll take one
Bill.
more and then we'll close.
Bill Rabot, go ahead.
Yeah, so I want to share something. I've been taking speech training for 2 years now, and I've improved dramatically. And my experience is a little different than what Mayank is saying. So in the beginning, I had trouble with filler words. And one of the things that was happening was I had memorized my speeches and I was searching. Then I learned from an instructor that instead of memorizing my speech, if I created the speech in my mind and I had sections to the speech so that I understood where I was going and how I was going to get there, I could eliminate filler words and be very authentic and be very powerful and be very present. So after a year of these 2 years, I accomplished all of that. And now I can speak without filler words, be authentic, and truly represent myself. And nobody knows if I missed a phrase or a sentence, right? It doesn't have to be memorized. I just have to convey my feeling, my passion, and my ideas. Thank you.
Beautiful. Bill, you hit the nail right there. It comes down to that knowing, having a system and a structure, because I'm the same. I do not encourage my clients to memorize their speech. I say internalize it, don't memorize it. And that's where the true authenticity comes out. Brilliant.
Perfect. Well,
all right.
Lisa, I'm going to ask you a question as we're wrapping up. First of all, want to thank you very much. It was, you're great. So what are the 3 takeaways? What are the top 3 takeaways you would like people to leave with today?
Sure. So let me just say this. I want to encourage you this. I want to encourage you, whoops. Don't want you to see my for the wrong screen there. For some reason, it's not going to my right screen, even though I'm clicking it. All right. 3 takeaways is this. You can have an impact on your listener, and you actually can have some control over the amount of influence you have over your listener. And if you look at these 3 areas, the areas of your words, your non-words, so let's just say the verbal, the words that you say, the sounds that come out of your mouth, and your visual presentation, how you show up. I'd like you to look at what you do as a communicator and pick one area that you can begin to work on over the next 3 to 6 months and say, what's one goal that I can work on in the next 3 to 6 months that will help me to become a more effective communicator, that will help me connect more with the listeners or the audience members. Maybe it's like on Zoom, visual. Maybe I'm going to change my visual presentation, my posture, how I show up on the frame, the fact that I do show up, so what is it that you want to do? And what's one area that you can focus on over the next 3 to 6 months that will help you improve your communication? You heard from Bill talking about his testimony. It's change small, but change often. That's what I would encourage people. So thank you so much. I hope that you found value in this. Feel free to reach out to me if you want any of my free resources or just have any further questions. Thank you so much, Margaret and Bernie, for inviting me today.
Well, thank you so much, Lisa, for doing that. Bernie, I'm going to pass over to you in a second. I just want to share a couple links. Now, I think this is interesting because we're working on the YouTube channel. And so I think that I'm just sharing it here in the chat. That will give you a link to the Connect Ottawa YouTube channel, and then you could go there and you could actually even see how you're looking on a screen in a presentation. So actually that's what I mentioned. There's several people that have on this call that have done shared their dynamic presentations with us, so you can actually go check out your skills there as well. You don't even have to record a new one. You could just go take a recap. Another thing I'm going to suggest, because we're also, most of us business people on these calls, is that you can go to our Connect Ottawa page. I'm going to put that, okay, I just lost the screen. That's what I love about technology. Here we go. That should be there. Going to the LinkedIn page and actually go in this video and leave a comment. Leave a comment. Did you like Lisa? Do you like coming to the Connect Ottawa Tuesday webinars? Leave something and who you are. Say, you know, I'm Margaret Ann from Fitzroy Harbor. I absolutely love Tuesday keynote webinars, and leave your contact information so people can reach out. And don't forget to like that page. On that note, I'll pass it over to